Sel, I think they should. I think they should. You know the quote, nobody wins when the family feuds. That's what they say, I think.
Is that what Steve Harvey says?
That's what he says.
I don't know. I ain't heard that.
Steve Harvey hosts Family Feud. I don't think he can.
Oh, he doesn't say that? He said something else.
Yeah, you should rework the deal because if you're the Packers, you're only committed to Aaron Rodgers 1 year at a time. He had one bad season, and y'all were already like, okay, should we go ahead and draft a quarterback?
Only one?
After his second season of, in your mind, mediocrity, you did draft a quarterback. So, realistically, NFL teams are committed to their players on one-year commitments. We all know that.
I'm following this.
So, if the team is committed to the player on a one-year basis, why not allow the player to be committed to the team on a one-year basis, particularly if the player is arguably the greatest player in your franchise's history. But beyond that, because it doesn't really matter how much he's done for you, Aaron Rodgers don't want to be there. So what is a compromise? A compromise is two people being happy or two people being unhappy.
Is that a compromise?
It's a compromise.
I heard some definition of compromise yesterday. Is this the new version?
This is the same definition as
the same as yesterday?
Two people being happy or two people being unhappy.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, if he's on a one-year deal, he's happy because that's what he wants. Y'all are happy because y'all still have him there. If Aaron Rodgers...
just happy to be here. We on that?
Well, the kicker is if Aaron Rodgers don't show up, he's happy. But Packers aren't happy. If Aaron Rodgers does show up, he's not happy, but y'all are happy. So the only way for both parties to actually be happy is if Aaron Rodgers does, in fact, show up, but he shows up under his contractual terms. Otherwise, Aaron Rodgers is going to be frustrated or worse, not present. So as I look at it, you might as well restructure the deal because realistically speaking, you only want Aaron Rodgers for the next season anyway. Who knows if you want him for 2 years? Who knows if you want him for 3 years? He could mess up his neck like Peyton Manning. He could tear an ACL like Tom Brady in 08. He could get hurt like Dak Prescott. That's what we're doing because it's what the NFL does. The NFL looks at you and they categorize you on a year-by-year basis. Everybody wins if you make Rodgers happy.
I had here on my notes, to a point, to help Aaron Rodgers out because my gratitude is my attitude. You know, I respect Aaron Rodgers and his greatness, and I understand that he's coming down the hill ever so slightly as an MVP, but still coming down the hill. He looked amazing last year. But, you know, I work well with others. However, they have to work well with me. There's a golden rule that I tell my son, my little 5-year-old MJ, every single day, which is treat others like you want to be treated. Now, in football, when you merge business into a child's game, all of a sudden that gets a little murky. So in this situation, when we're talking about treating Aaron Rodgers like you want to be treated as an organization, that means it is performance-based and it's also not performance-based. So Aaron Rodgers wants to leave Green Bay not because of performance. Like Aaron Rodgers was the MVP last year, not because of the team that they have as well, because this was an NFC championship appearing team for consecutive years. So it's not performance-based by his own quotes. There's more to it than just the money. There's more to it than just what they've done on the field. It's the people upstairs. It's the culture, as he says in such vague terms. Okay, let me tell you what's really going on here. Why now I'm going to push back. Now I ain't giving them jack because you made me understand this and you crystallized it for me. You all in your feelings, Aaron Rodgers, and you know me, I ain't respecting your feelings. Don't get in touch with your emotions if you can't control them. Stay out of touch. And Aaron Rodgers, since you ain't gonna control them, y'all should just part ways, you and your emotions. Here we go. This is what happened to Aaron Rodgers because I saw it happen with Russell Wilson. I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna say it explicitly, and I'm gonna say it concisely. Aaron Rodgers realized that last year he was the best. Imagine that. I was the MVP. My best was voted the best. And that still wasn't good enough. Two things happened. Now, if you built like me, if you built like so many people who are the vocal minority out there, we're the silent majority, as we call ourselves, because we don't talk loud, we just go get it done. Aaron Rodgers, there's two ways to do this. Either put makeup on and blame others, or look in the mirror and blame yourself. Now, he doesn't want to blame himself because he was the best. It can't be me. It can't be Aaron Rodgers. It has to be everyone else. Now, if the Green Bay Packers are doing their job, they're looking in the mirror and say, wait a minute, Aaron. You're only on one of two teams that has a top 5 running back and top 5 receiver. Oh, wait a minute, Aaron. Your team was number 1 in points scored. I understand that's in part because of you. But number 1 in points scored. Aaron, let me remind you that we have a top 10 defense. Where are you going that's going to be greener than that? He's thinking, everywhere I go is going to be greener because I'm there. But everywhere you go, there you are. You can't run from your problems, Aaron Rodgers. You got to look in the mirror, take the makeup off, and address this for what it is. Your best was the best, but still not good enough. Dig deeper, run it back, and try to finally get over that hump.
He's been running the back cell for about 12 years now.
Hey, that's on him then.
Eventually, you get tired of running it back.
Or eventually you realize that silver, that's what you're going to wear, bro. Everybody ain't Tom Brady. That's the problem. Tom Brady rigging the game. Everybody think Russell Wilson over there spazzing because Deshaun Watson spazzing. Big Aaron Rodgers spazzing. All these top 5 quarterbacks are spazzing because they want to be Tom Brady. You're not. And it's okay, bro. But where you going to go? Name the spot. The Aaron Rodgers, you insert him, and it's realistic that he's going to all of a sudden beat Tom Brady.
But you have to ask yourself, was Tom Brady because of himself, or was he Tom Brady early on because of Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis?
Say the names.
Richard Seymour.
Keep going.
Ty Law.
Keep going.
They had some dogs.
They kept going, too. Roddy Harrison.
I didn't even name.
You didn't even go to that level.
Vince Wilfork. Like, was he Tom Brady because of himself, or was he Tom Brady because of all those other pieces? Obviously, both. And I think Aaron Rodgers is looking like, man, the one time I had a defensive dog, Charles Woodson, we won a Super Bowl.
I'll give you that.
The one time y'all gave me a top 5 defense, we won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Tom Brady is Tom Brady, obviously. He's the greatest of all time. But Aaron Rodgers is like, it's not that I'm not as good as Tom Brady. It's that those around me aren't as good as those around him. So if those around me aren't as good as those around him, I need to get around some people that are as good as those around him so I can be perceived as good as him.
Yeah, you got names and places?
I think a lot of places that have
That's
top 5.
real.
Okay, that's the problem. The problem is what places have vacancies for you.
No,
right? Because people mention the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns have a better as good a supporting cast as Tom Brady's supporting cast.
Okay,
Cleveland Browns got their receivers, they got their tight ends, they got their defensive linemen, they got their DBs, they got their running backs. But the question is, do they have the space for you? But still, to that point, it's like Aaron Rodgers is losing in legacy, not because of Aaron Rodgers. He's losing in legacy because of those around him. Let's talk about your guy, Tangent. Kevin Durant. He realized, like, wait a second. Maybe I am as good as LeBron James, but the problem is I ain't got no dogs around me. When did Kevin Durant, in perception, become the greatest player in the NBA?
The greatest?
In perception.
It had to be with the ring, right?
Exactly.
Now mama crying for mama for the MVP?
Nah, in perception, because that was, 2013? In perception,
no, too early.
KD didn't become the best player in the NBA until he won chips. Realistically, he won an MVP before he won a chip. So based upon a vote of the journalists that cover the sport, KD was a more dominant player based upon all the other players prior to ever winning the chip. But he didn't become the best in our minds until he won a chip. It wasn't that KD didn't have the talent. He needed to get around people that were more talented so that he could get a ring. Once he got a ring, he elevated in perception. I think Aaron Rodgers is in a similar parallel life right now in his sport.
Oh, really?
He's like, it's not that I don't have the talent to be compared to the LeBron James of my sport and Tom Brady, but I got to get around some people that's as talented as the people around LeBron James, around Tom Brady. KD was like, wait a second.
What do you think?
Westbrook can't compare to what LeBron got over there in D-Wade and Bosh. Westbrook can't compare to what LeBron had in Kyrie. But you know who can?
Who can?
Oh, Steph Curry, another player that has an MVP. So let me go around somebody that's talented, and now all of a sudden, my perception grew. KD's talent didn't necessarily grow. The perception grew. Aaron Rodgers' perception can grow when he gets around some different cats.
Oh, man, that sounded poetic. That's many things you say. And I'm not going to poke holes at you. I'm going to poke holes at Aaron Rodgers if that's his thought process. Let's do this. Let's start here. You said you give him a top 5 defense, he wins a Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
That's not completely accurate.
Is it not?
No, because if you look, the year before, they had the number 2 defense in terms of points. Now, I don't know how you look at defense.
How you look at it? You go points, you go yards?
Man, it depends on what make my argument. I'll say that. But either way in this one, let's go yards. It's 2nd and 5th, at 5th, right? When he had the 5th ranked defense, he wins the Super Bowl. When he has the 2nd, a better defense by yardage, but not by points, he loses in the wild card round. Wait a minute. Now, this is what's really weird about Aaron Rodgers in terms of his impact on the game. Okay, so you go 11-5 with a better defense. Then the next year, a worse defense, you win the Super Bowl. And then the year after that, y'all go 15-1. Are you watching? You trending with me? With the 32nd ranked defense, 15-1, and get smacked in the divisional round. Okay, so we're finding some inconsistencies here, right? Aaron Rodgers, don't walk up into my office talking about, if you give me a better defense, I got you. That ain't true. I just proved that through the inconsistency of defenses. Best defense, you didn't win it all. Middle defense, you did. The worst defense, you win 15 games. Okay, let's talk about winning games. Because I want you to just digest this, kind of in a track and field mindset, that since you win doesn't mean you're going to win it all. You won your heat. You won these regular season games. Doesn't mean you win it all. Last 2 years, who's won the most games as a quarterback? Aaron Rodgers. Second, Patrick Mahomes. How many rings? 1. Lamar Jackson. Third. How many rings? Donut. Fourth, Russell Wilson. How many rings? You got to go back. None in the last 2 years, obviously. Josh Allen and then Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in there. My point is, once again, inconsistency. So why am I now just trying to focus in on the non-performance elements? Because Aaron Rodgers can't make it make sense when you talk about on the field performance-based numbers. Defense is not the issue. Winning's not the issue. NFC championship appearance is not the issue. You're going to keep blaming everything else, Aaron Rodgers, instead of just one day just telling us, what can you do better? You know how it is. When you go out there, what they say, when you win a game, it's y'all, and when you lose a game, it's you. I don't hear that equation working for Aaron Rodgers the same. And if you really dive into these numbers, you start to point the finger at him.
Aaron Rodgers obviously could be better, like everybody could be better. Of course. But Aaron Rodgers knows I'm already the best at my position. So if you all were the best at your jobs, we wouldn't be in this situation. Whether it's you, head coach Matt LaFleur, whether it's you, general manager Gutekunst, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's the secondary.
Your Honor.
Go ahead.
But is that what you need to address and ask if you really want to be Super Bowl champion? Who has the most rings? Tom Brady. Has he ever just stood there by himself as the best at his position? Like, you're asking the wrong questions. That's why you're getting the wrong answers. Aaron Rodgers keeps saying how good I am. And Tom Brady keeps saying how... Well, Tom Brady addressed that with Bruce Arians during their bye week last year when they were 7-5. He's like, let me tell you something. We got the squad. Let me tell you why we are not what we should be. Because we're not running the squad the right way. It's kind of like a DJ. You can give 2 DJs, give me and give Kid Capri, the same exact playlist. His gonna sound better. Somehow, some way, it's how you work it. Tom Brady said, Bruce, you're not playing complimentary football perfectly. You keep going out there and saying, we got to run again, let's run. We got to pass again, let's pass. And he's like, you gotta make them things weave together. Kid Capri gonna drop it on a 1. I like the blend. I like that slow build. People are like, oh, that's the next song. Okay, Wiley. Kid Capri hits you like this. You go, oh, man, what the hell was that? And Tom Brady is just out there playing the playlist better. The same songs than Aaron Rodgers.
Is that a Tom Brady thing or is that a Bruce Arians thing? Because I think it's a Bruce Arians compared to Matt LaFleur. I think it's Bill Belichick compared to Matt LaFleur. I don't think, when it comes down to it, Aaron Rodgers is innocent of any charge of underperformance. Like, he's innocent. He's innocent of all charges. Matt LaFleur, not necessarily. Because Matt LaFleur, 4th and 8. Why are you not going to go for it with the championship game on the line? When you think about Aaron Rodgers as the MVP, Aaron Rodgers was walking into court and saying, I am innocent. Now, general manager, you're not. Because our defensive backs were super suspect outside of Jair Alexander and my guy Savage in the back end. We were kind of suspect back there. He's going and saying, wait, y'all let Blake Martinez walk. Blake Martinez was top 5 in the NFL in tackles just a couple years ago. What are we doing collectively? I am innocent. I don't know about y'all.
Really? You think Aaron Rodgers can say that? It's bigger than Nino Brown. He can walk up in court and do that. It's bigger than Aaron Rodgers. You sure? Because if I'm the judge, I'm going to say, wait a minute, sit down. First of all, contempt. Sit your ass down, Aaron. Here's number 2. Are you charged with being 1-4 in NFC championship games? Sounds guilty to me. Are you charged with having 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions? Best at your position? Why is it so close? Guilty as charged. Are you charged with having an 83 quarterback rating in NFC championship games? Guilty as charged. Sit your butt down before I lock you up for life. I don't want to hear this Aaron Rodgers, I'm innocent stuff. Those numbers, are those best at the position numbers? You're the defense attorney. Case rest? Exactly. All right, case dismissed.